Hello YouTube. Today I'm actually here to I'm actually doing a review of the Sequre SQ-001 electric soldering iron. The idea behind this particular unit is to actually replace my ceramic soldering station, which I've had for in excess of 4 or 5 years. It has treated me well. The one issue with it is temperature control, one, and the actual non-stick tip has, how do you say, flaked off over the years due to heavy oxidation, possible improper cleaning processes, and temperature control for the inside element. The problem with this particular unit is the temperature is never actually consistent. So one moment the temperature is extremely hot, next moment it's too cool to actually effectively melt the solder or keep it in a molten state before adhering the two materials together. So on this basis, on this basis I have decided to go with this particular unit here, which actually does very well, is claims to do very good temperature control inside the actual working head here, right at the tip. So the idea behind this particular unit: portability, electronic thermal control, which we're going to actually test that claim today in this particular review. So for me personally, what this particular iron would be used for would be for automotive applications, such as when I need to join wiring together in a wiring harness. But primarily though, I actually will be using it for my UAV autonomous flying vehicles here. So we're going to do a nice little unboxing now. I've actually peeled off the protective wrapper beforehand for the purpose of just testing to see if it actually turns on. This has actually been a product purchased from Race Quad. So racedayquads.com. I'll be putting a link to this item in the description, or you can just simply buy it straight from here, from the site. Yeah, you can buy it straight, but if you're in the United States, close to Florida, just order it from racedayquads.com and get it shipped quickly. So on to the unboxing. So it's a box, as you can see, it's a box, this type of packaging, which for me works. So we're finished with the box. Threw the box away, and in this packaging you get the main unit, the tip with the heating element inside. You get a cable. This was a DS, I can't remember it, I think DS5520 or 5220, and a XT30 connector. Set of instruction manuals, which are the unit itself is very self-explanatory just by looking at the photos here. So based on the reviews, you already know exactly what to do with this particular unit. I actually have pretty high hopes for this particular unit at this time. You get an Allen key and some spare screws. These spare screws would actually go into these screw holes. Before we get there, I need to actually show you the holder. So when not in use, you just rest it in the holder, and from there, let me just, as a matter of fact, unrack this since we're going to use this right now. this out of the packaging. So a little bit of sponge, you soak this with water, and good to go. Get this, throw that out. Get this to stand up. So just cut your iron and good to go. So assembly, very easy. The tip I used, this tip here is the K tip. They have several tips in the manual that you can select from. That's not in this manual, not in this one here. Let me see. Safety. No, we don't do safety. Oh, sorry, I should actually, yeah, we don't do safety here. Safety is for wimps. All right. Oh, the various power settings here. Default settings. Here we go. Yeah, so the various tip types. I actually have TSK. That's me. I chose this one on the basis that I need to actually solder some battery terminals. So battery terminals are, so I wanted the perfect balance between a fine tip here and something wide enough to be able to transfer the heat when I'm soldering battery leads for like XT60, some JST connectors, soldering some thicker motor wires where the tip, this fine tip, cannot transmit that heat, that amount of heat required, such as shown here, but in this example. So my oldest solder station just did not do a good job if you consider the difference between the two tips. So this would actually be great, better for heat transfer. Put this back in place. We're done with the manual, don't need the manual anymore. So assembly is pretty quick and easy. Using the supplied Allen key, see Allen key, you just unscrew this from the top, loosen it, put this in like so, clip it in together. Because I'm right-handed, so I'll have the gauge, the display, OLED display facing me. I would typically want to have this tilted about so. I think this would be, yeah, I think this would actually be effective, most efficient. So it's twisted, so I'll twist it this way because it's most comfortable for me being right-handed. And you simply just gently tighten. You no need to yank it up, just snug, and it stops there. Right, and so this is where we're going to connect this up. So plug this in like so, and the battery. So this is battery powered, so you can be mobile and use this anywhere, literally. Connect this like so. So we're now live. All right, so let me unplug this so you can see what just happened. Clean off the screen, the display. That's the brand. I should actually mention that the tip, so this is safe to touch right now. This is just literally, this is off. So press the switch on, which I will. Press and hold. Oops. Yeah, here we go. So it quickly ramps up to the preset 100 degrees Celsius. So it literally is at 100 degrees Celsius right away. Now we're going to do some soldering, but let's check this temperature. The preset temperature is 300 degrees Celsius. I forgot to mention I was messing around with the temperature setting. So 100 degrees Celsius is too cool for melting. So let's go 200. So you simply press and hold 200 degrees Celsius, give it a few seconds, and you'll see it literally in real time. I hope this comes out well on camera. 200 degrees Celsius. Well, 300 degrees Celsius is supposed to be the melting point of... Okay. I see something happening here. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention the important message in the beginning of the manual that simply says smoke. Oops, sorry, let's switch this over to English. There's something here. Yeah, so here we go. For the first time, using this unit may generate light smoke due to the heating of the heating elements, which is a normal phenomenon. Right, so what had happened is that the protective grease and oils that they've actually placed on this thing is just gently being burnt off. So 200 degrees Celsius, as you'll see here, is still too cool to really effectively melt this thing. So to get that actual temperature, we are going to do 300 degrees Celsius. That's what this device would come prepared out of the factory, but I've just messed around setting it at 100 degrees just to see what happens for this particular review. Also, what you'll notice is that the this wave symbol, this wavy looking symbol here, denotes that it's in a stabilized setting. So the temperature is not going to go up or go down. It just keeps it constant. That's what the whole fancy STM32 processor is supposed to do. So we're going to actually go 250, see if I can get any form of melting occurring here. Let's go. Oh, I just like seeing the animation for this thing. All right, 250. Instant, nice. The fact that, all right, so this to go here to make this change would have actually taken my particular from a temperature point of view perspective, my older soldering station 250 degrees Celsius is the minimum that my older soldering station could actually handle. I mean, can actually do. But I'm going to see if this is good enough to heat the soldering. Although typically you do really want to go 300 before any real action starts happening. So, nothing. Okay, it's tinning. So 250 does do it. Okay, 250 does do it. Okay. 250 can work. Okay. All right, so 250 degrees Celsius does work. So I won't need to then go through the process of cranking it up to 300 then. So I'm gonna rest this down in its little station while we actually tin something. I want you guys to actually know that this thing does work and does do what it advertises. So depending on which tip you actually select, you can start doing micro soldering. All right, so I'm behind the camera. I actually do have some stuff here that I actually do legitimately want to tin. Hope this comes up well on the camera. Let me see if I can zoom in. Let me see if this comes up clearly in the camera. So 200 degrees Celsius, as you may notice, 250 degrees Celsius is too cool to get this working. So what's going to happen, we're going to have to bump it up to 300. Oh, sorry. I need to 300. Realize I had the camera out of focus there. Oh, this is bad practice. Not doing this without, I'm doing this without my fume extractor. All right. So tinned. Definitely do feel the heat. All right, let's do this the official way. Let's break out the helping hand. Helping hand. Sorry, let me put this back in focus. I'm using my phone to do this. Oh, go back in focus. Trying to keep my phone in focus. All right, yeah, let's do this again. Oh, gotta keep this in focus. And trying not to block the camera view at the same time. But I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Yeah, so heat transferred quickly. Yeah, so the heat transferred quickly on that one. Let's switch over to yes, I have fat fingers. All right, let me do this one so that the camera can see and record all this. And this is why I really like the fatter tip. Heat transfer consistent. Now with these tips, you don't want to have it set the temperature too hot for too long. It has a very nice, well, it has a very nice standby feature, such that when you're not using it, it just cools down into a nice sleep state, which is very, very, very useful. Very, very useful. So in the temperature drops, cools down, and then the moment you pick it up, it has a built-in accelerometer, just like your phone and many other wearable devices like your smartwatch, etc. Let me try to do this one now. Kind of tricky too. Keep this in focus. Doing this single-handed. I do not usually keep my solder tips so dirty, but because I totally forgot to get the sponge to mop up what's there. Okay. Well, this is just tinning. It's not like the final solder job. All right, so these have been tinned. These are the ones that these are the wires that I actually do use for the purpose of testing. And that's actually pretty much it. To put it on pause, when you're done, you simply back out of focus. Yeah. So when you're done with it, you just simply press and hold on these two buttons, and it goes back to its off or standby state. And literally done, good to go. If you're done, just simply unplug it, or you could simply unplug it and let it cool down. I'd actually endorse this product. We have some more soldering to do, which I will be doing it professionally this time around. The next time around, rather.